Hello everyone and welcome to Lakeside once again, and today what I want to do is to put in the DCC Concept pickups on my Teak coaches. Now you've seen on the previous video the ones I got from the Gets exhibition, which are these. Get those out of the light, and they're just like little copper brass spring things which wrap around the axles and allow you to pick up the current from the track. And in time-honoured Blue Peter fashion, I've just done this one here, and so the end result looks like that. So you can see the pickups just here, the springs wrapped around each axle, and a wire going from each one of them. Now on this particular set, one of these wheels is insulated from the axle, and that's important with this because if both those wheels are live to the axle, then you're going to get a short straight away. So it has to be, on this particular instance, a insulated wheel and a non-insulated wheel, and the non-insulated wheel will pick up the current from the track, transfer it to the axle, and then obviously transfer it to the cable up to the lighting inside. That's the principle of the way it works. So really it's just a case, I say just a case, of taking a axle out, taking one wheel off, putting the spring on, putting the wheel back on, and soldering that spring to the wire. Having said that, this is one which I'm going to do, which is the buffet car. Just let me move that soldering iron before I burn myself. This is the buffet car from the set, and inside you can see the strip lighting I've put in, and then that goes to a little PCB I made up just here, and in there is a bridge rectifier and a capacitor, and that sorts out the electronics for not getting any flickering within these coaches. Now if I show you this on the camera, it may look like as if I'm getting flickering, but that's the effect of the LEDs against the camera. But I guarantee that there is actually no flickering. If you do see flickering, that's just the effect the LEDs create on the camera. And just on a note of detailing, on all this set of Teaks, I've taken them apart and detailed the inside. And I was trying to show that on the video yesterday, but now I've taken the top off because I wanted to show you the PCB in there. You may as well see how that is detailed. So you've got the kitchen all decked out now with cookers, cupboards, the tea urns and coffee urns just up here, and flooring. We've got meals on tables with tablecloths. Somebody's got a paper there. So it's all quite detailed. Okay, so what I will do, I will show you how I do. I will pop this back on, but I will show you the process of doing one box. There's no point in doing both, and then we'll pop it on the track and test it. Okay, so I'll speak to you later. Hello again. Right, so we're now on to the installation of the pickups, and one thing I must make clear is that if you're going to do this, you've got to check that the wheels on your coach are going to be insulated one side, because if you try and do it without that, then if both wheels are non-insulated, you will get a short. So it's very, very important that one side must be insulated, and I mean, on this coach, or on the set, I was lucky in the fact that they were insulated, so I haven't got to swap over the wheels. So let's crack on then. So the first thing really to do is to unsolder the two wires from the coach, take out a wheel set, take off one of the wheels, insert one of these springs or pickups, and then resolder the wire. So we'll do that now. I may have to speed up the process on the video as I'm working because it does take a little while to do. It's a bit fiddly, but let's crack on. And before I do that, let's just go through the tools that I'll be using. So I've got a series of pliers, wire stripper, soldering iron obviously, the springs, some emery cloth, fine emery cloth, just to make sure I've got a good contact on the axles. You'll see me do that. A little bit of oil on the axle once I've completed it. A couple of screwdrivers, very important, a back-to-back gauge. This one is not the standard one you see from DCC Concepts. This one is one which I've had made up when I was at work. It was a manufacturing company, and so I managed to get this ground down to exactly the right size for the back-to-back. So that's kind of a homemade jobby, but it works. So let's unsolder this. One. So that now enables me to release these wheels. This is the bit I hate the most. Some wheels you can just pop out as easy as anything, but others like these, they come out easy enough, but are a pig to put in. Right, so that's the old one. Now what I'm looking for is the wheel which has got the insulation on, and it's this one here, and you can just see in there, if I bring it up close enough, there's a little black bush between the wheel and the axle, and that's the bit which is the insulator. It's just a piece of rubber. So that one is the one I want to get off. Like that. If I get my little screwdriver and poke that out, you can see, if I can, you don't have to take this bush out, but I'm just trying to show you I can't, too tight in there, but you can see hopefully the screwdriver coming through. You can see that little black rubber bush. That's the insulator. So the first thing I want to do is just get my emery cloth, just rub it over. So that's going to make a good contact. Next thing is to get 4 springs. They're not springs really, are they? They are pickups, but they look like springs. Two, 3, So you get one of the pickups, slide it over the axle, like so. Get the wheel, and just press it on. So what we've got to do now is to push that wheel on so that I've got the correct gauge. Let's move that out of the way a minute. So that I've got the correct gauge for the back-to-back. And the way I do that is just press down on it. Gradually keep checking the back-to-back. It needs to be the same all the way around, otherwise the wheels won't run true. Fraction more. Perfect. Right, so that's the back-to-back sorted out on that one. And then making sure that the insulator is on the opposite side to the other wheel. So the insulator on this wheel, on this axle, is here. So the insulator on this axle has got to be over on this side. So it needs to be that way round. Pop your wheel set in, and this is the bit which is really fiddly on this coach. So I do not like going in. There you go. So then we lift that up, spring tang, put a little bit of solder on your iron, and just tin the spring or the pickup. And then solder the two together. Like so. And repeat the process over on this side. So this side here has the insulator. When you're doing this, as a handy hint, you need to make sure that both wheels are central within the axle. There's no point in having a long stub out this side and a little one that side if the back-to-back is correct. They've got to be central across the width of the axle. So the same amount coming out of the wheel this side as there is that side. That's just what I'm looking at now. That went down, but it's probably too much. Yes, it is. So we need to press down again. Right, almost there. Fraction more. Perfect. Okay, so insulator is that side. Insulator for that wheel was this side. So that gets popped on like so. Okay. So we'll just check the back-to-backs again. Okay, that should be that side complete. So I'll just drop a tiny drop of oil on each of those axles. Just the tiniest drop. Okay, so what I will do, I will go and get my test track and wire it up, and then we can test this particular bogey to see if we've got the polarities right and that it actually works. Okay, so I'll do that now and I'll come back to you. Okay, so bye for now. Hello again. Right, so I've got the test track set up, and that's connected up to my Z21. So the trick now is to see if what I've done is working. So I've only done one bogey, that's this one here. This one here, I've taken the old pickups off the axles, but as you can see, they're not doing it. These wires are not connected to anything. So in theory, if I put this bogey only on the track, I shouldn't get any lights come up here. If I put this bogey on the track, then I will get the lights, and that's really going to be the test, if you like, as to regards if just this one bogey will run without any flickering. Well, hopefully it will light up for a start, but if it does, hopefully there won't be any flickering either, because of the capacitor I've put in here, the stay alive capacitor and the bridge. So let's give it a go. So that's the one I've done. So let's put it all on the track to begin with. And there we go. And no flickering. Now if it is flickering, I can't tell looking at the viewfinder. If this appears to be flickering, it's the LEDs reacting with the camera. But as I'm looking at it, there's not an ounce of flicker on that, nothing. So if I take this end off, which I haven't got any power to, only this one, this coach should still stay alight, which it does. So I can run that up and down the track and it's still powering the light inside. If I was to put that bogey back on, like so, and take this end off, then the lights go out, and that's because there is no power at this end. So doing it at both ends assures me that if, that's because that isn't on correct, it assures me that no matter if this is dirty or there's a break in the track somewhere, it's going to pick up power from either one of those two bogies. And along with the stay alive capacitor inside, I'm sure that I will get no flickering. If I get flickering on this after I've done it, then there's something not right. So I think that's about it. There are other methods, obviously, to power lights in coaches, various methods. There's the ordinary strip lighting, which you power by a battery, and it's sensitive to any movement, and it comes on if there's movement. There are different pickups you can get. You can get the ordinary brass wipers, which wipe on the internal edges or flanges of the wheels. There's a whole host of different methods. There's another one where you can connect a cable, almost daisy chain a cable from one coach to another, and is powered by one source. There's various different methods. I like this method because it's so simple it's not simple to install as such, but it's simple that if I didn't want to run a particular coach for whatever reason, I haven't got anything to unplug, for one thing. It's a completely standalone system. That's one of the reasons why I like it. So what I should do now is to carry on and do this end and see how it goes. Actually, what I will do is, if I get the other coach, which I did earlier, so this is the one I did earlier, but I haven't checked it, so it could be that I've got polarities wrong, in which case I just swap the wheel around. So let's just see how this goes. It looks like I've got a polarity issue here already. Yep. So what that means, so that was a good test. That means that one of these wheels is the wrong way round. And we can check that, because let's see if this bogie is okay. And that's not working at all. And the reason being, I've only got one side connected. And this side is going to give me a direct short. Try it. Yep. So that's definitely one of those wheels is the wrong way around. So it's a simple case of just, it doesn't matter which of those two wheels, I just need to take out one of them and swap it round. So that is a very good, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a good way of showing you what happens if you don't get the isolator on the opposite side to this set. They must be on opposite sides. Okay, so that's about it really. Hopefully that's been of use to you. I will do that coach now, and I will also do this end of the coach. So that gives me then 2 out of 7 coaches, which have now been modified to these DCC Concept pickups. As I said, this is just my way of doing it. I'm not saying this is a how-to, I never do. These are just things which I show you how I do things. I know that there are going to be many people going, oh well, if you use this, yeah, absolutely, and you have to decide which method you want to use. I have absolutely no problems with that whatsoever. I'm just showing you how I do my ones. Okay, so that's it for now, and hopefully I will have all this lot done, and I'll probably have them on the track very soon, so you'll be able to see it all running. Okay, so bye for now, and hopefully that's been of help. Oh, again, I thought it was a bit unfair finishing the video with one of these coaches not working, so I literally just turned the wheel set round to give it the correct polarity, and it's fine now. So it just shows you really how important it is to get those wheel sets round the right way, because if you don't, then you get a direct short. But now it's all fine now, runs nice and smooth, and certainly no drag left on the coaches like there were using my old style homemade versions. So really pleased with these DCC Concept pickups. I must iterate that this is not the only method, you know, there's loads of different methods, so you have to choose your own method you prefer and fit those should you want to. But this is my preferred way, and it seems to work very nicely. So I'm pleased. Okay, so bye for now, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now. Bye.